We the people tell the government what to do. It doesn't tell us. We the people are the driver. The government is the car. And we decide where it should go and by what route and how fast. Almost all the world's constitutions are documents in which governments tell the people what their privileges are.
Hey everyone, welcome to yet another episode of Two Noobs Talking. It's episode 94. We are 6 episodes to go before we hit 100. That's just hard to believe. As I sit here saying that, that's crazy.
Yes.
John, that's nuts.
We started at 1.
Now we're at 94. It's like, that's crazy. Like, how'd that happen? Anyway, with me are my two good friends, John Tracy and Steve Murray, of course. I am Matt Craig. We're happy to have you with us. John, I don't know what the weather is like in your area, but it's hot as balls up here, here in PA.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm hot to the ball. Yeah. It's hot. It's hot. I think Friday it was a brisk 92 degrees, but the real feel was 106.
Oh, wow. Brisk, you say? That's pretty good. Yeah. That's pretty good.
The brisk 92.
Yeah, I was like reading the weather report today, and they were saying that the dew points were in the 50s into the early 60s or whatever. And I'm thinking, like, where? It's like an oven outside. There's like no coolness. What they're saying is there's low humidity, so it's like, okay, well, it's just a somewhat dry heat, I guess.
Blame the president. It'll be fine. I mean, he gets, just blame him. That's fine.
Yeah, exactly.
You forgot to put the thermostat down.
Steve, how are you, sir? I'm sure comfortable in the air conditioning, right?
Well, yeah, like you, I'm sweating my balls off if I go outside. So I'm hunkering down in the homestead, in the air, in the AC. Power bill be damned.
Exactly.
When it's this hot, who cares?
It's funny. It was like I was
figure it out.
Funny today. It was like driving along and doing some errands, and all of a sudden, it's like around Camp Prussia area, there was like road work. I'm thinking, like, what the heck's going on here? So I kind of found out later someone had stolen a car and driven it like so fast through residential neighborhoods that they crashed the car into one of the power poles or whatever, and knocked out power for like most, if not all, of Camp Prussia. Fortunately, that's on the other side of where I am. Mm-hmm. But it's like you got people in there with no air conditioning, and they're just waiting for that power to be restored. It's like, oh my gosh, no.
That is, I know, auto theft is not huge penalties, but I think with that included, we're talking death penalty now.
Oh, 100%.
I would say so. Say so. I'd be pushing for it.
That would be something where you would sentence him to, like, okay, you're going to go into a sauna and you're going to stay there for like a week. You're not coming out anywhere at all. You're going to find out how hot it is. You know what I mean?
And just because I'm sadistic, every 23.3 seconds, someone's going to slap him in the face.
23.3 seconds, you say, John. That's interesting. Yeah, that's pretty good.
Slap him in the face while drinking a tall, cool glass of lemonade.
There you go. Yes. Whack! Whack! Love it.
It seems like the proper.
It seems like a proper. Yeah, exactly. So, guys, as we move on, like, we kind of figure out, well, who wore the episode number in the city of Philadelphia? One of them, of course, was Dahlia Hinojosa. Who?
That was quite the butcher job.
Thank you. Appreciate that. Dahlia.
What was that again?
Hinojosa. I forget how to. Who knows? He was a reliever for the Phillies. He was terrible. Didn't know who he was. Moving on.
I still don't know who.
Yeah. We're 94, I think, for 1 year. But on the Eagles side, Josh Sweat.
Yes.
Current defensive end. Yeah, pretty good player. Starting to come on strong. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
Hopefully he gets even better.
Yep.
Yeah, exactly. John's boy, N.D. Kalu, mentioned him last episode. Yeah.
How could you ever forget N.D. Kalu?
N.D. Kalu. Love it. And then
he's smart. He made it ND because you can't pronounce his first name either.
It's just like make it real simple. And then Steve's boy, Ryan Ellis, who we've mentioned before, all of 4 games for the Flyers.
great defenseman. I would just love to. I would hope he could just be healthy and
Yeah, if he could play.
Yeah.
If he could play consistent.
Well,
I mean, he put up 5 points in those 4 games he played. So you go that average, he's gonna score
Lindros numbers. Yeah,
88 points over a full 82 game season.
Big games.
His health is the thing.
Yeah.
But talent, he's not short of any of that.
What I love about it too is like Tortorella is like all ticked off right now. He just thinks like, oh my God, we have nobody. This is terrible. And he's just, this is just setting the table for him. And it's just like, go get him, John, because like I said last week, you're going to be polishing a lot of turd right now. So go get him. We're by you. We're with you. But yeah, good luck there, pal. We're with you on that. So, but anyway. So as we move on here, guys, why don't we just dive right into topic 1, shall we? And I guess that COVID still hasn't gone away, even though we've declared it dead here on Too Noobs, which it is dead, by the way. It is officially like over in terms of its pandemic. We are in.
What about the ninja?
Oh yeah, this is definitely like the ninja variant. Comes out of nowhere and all that kind of stuff. It's great, Johnny.
What about the ninja variant? Okay, never mind.
Yeah.
Has it been determined that we need to have clever nicknames for every single subvariant that comes out now?
I'm all for it. It makes it at least more fun to read bullshit articles from Fortune magazine.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, easier to say ninja than BA 5-7398 ZP.
I want the chameleon.
Numbers? That's my question. Go ahead, Johnny.
Who knows? I want the chameleon variant, the one that you can't see and nobody talks about. That one.
There you go. Exactly.
That'd be a good one.
This is kind of interesting, though. And, John, I'm glad you sent this because this has not only affected us in our society, but also in the sports world.
Yeah. I like this one.
Warrior forward Andrew Wiggins, NBA champion, won the championship.
And a hell of a basketball player. Great
player. Says he now regrets getting the COVID vaccine during the season. He expressed regret this week during an interview. Still wish I didn't get vaccinated, to be honest with you. But you got to do what you got to do, he said. He admitted the season was the finest of his 8-year career. He was only able to play under NBA guidelines and health safety regulations in the first place because he got vaccinated.
Mm-hmm.
I did it and was an all-star this year.
Well, see, if you get your vaccination, you will have your best NBA season ever.
That's what the NBA's pushing.
That's one of the positive side effects, exactly. But he expressed caution about being forced by the NBA to receive the vaccine. Wiggins added, but for my body, I just don't like putting all that stuff in my body, so I didn't like that, and I didn't like that it wasn't my choice. I didn't like that it was either get this or don't play. And and so he was adamantly resisting the vaccine until he finally caved in. Well, it wasn't that he caved in. It was a religious exemption.
To be clear, I don't think it was the NBA that made him take the vaccine.
Mm-hmm.
Right? I thought it was more California and specifically wherever Golden State's arena is. They had a rule like Kyrie, right?
Yep.
He couldn't play home games if he wasn't vaccinated.
Yep.
Yeah. Would have been that would have been like Oakland, San Francisco area. So yeah, you're exactly right, Steve.
Yeah, that falls right under prime leadership.
Yeah, exactly. John, of course, we can also talk about JT Realmuto saying perfectly healthy, didn't think I need it, but he could not play in the Toronto Blue Jays series in Toronto because of that lunatic up there in.
I also don't think he would have held if he played in that series.
Right, exactly. Exactly. But it kind of begs the so what are your thoughts on all of this? Because this is a very interesting topic. The vaccine doesn't seem to be doing its job a year and a half.
It strikes a nerve with me, and not because of religious views or any, just human views. Because I've actually had people very close to me say the exact same thing.
Mm-hmm.
They thought but now they're why did I? And it's it sucks. Because that's, like we've talked about many times, Steve has coined the phrase, you can't take it out. You know what I mean? Like, when talking about the ocean rules and stuff like that, you just can't take it out.
Yeah.
So I feel for people that, are in that regret stage, and JT Remoto, with T. Steibel, that they view life, their health a little bit differently than, let's say, the average person, or how the media wants you to look at your body.
Yeah.
And they get a lot of shit for it. And that kind of sucks. Because I honestly don't think any of these dudes, any of these sports guys should be taking any advice from fat people to sit behind a friggin' anchor's desk at CNN. Like, these dudes are prime athletes. These dudes work out 3-4 times a day, not 3-4 times a month, like those fat pieces of shit. They know their body better than most people know their body.
Yeah.
And I feel for Wiggins, but he did it. He had a good season. It's not like he didn't die from it. So, I mean,
no,
that's good.
Yeah.
It would be worse if that happened.
No, exactly. Steve, I'd love to get your thoughts, particularly not only with Wiggins, but also with JT Realmuto, because there was a little bit of Philly heat from the media, at least, that he was not in this series. And of course, like the hypothetical was, oh my God, if he doesn't play in the series, and it comes down to, are they going to make the playoffs because of this? Like, what are your thoughts on all that? I'd love to get your...
I agree with John.
Yeah.
I don't think Real Muto made a difference in the series. There was 2 games. The first game, his replacement, Garrett Stubbs, if I recall correctly, provided pretty much all the offense in that game.
And he's a decent player, so it's not like JT being out of the game is the worst thing. Is he a great catcher? Yeah, absolutely. But we have a formidable replacement for him.
Exactly.
Right. Yep. And then the second game, they got blown out, so he would have made a difference there.
Yeah.
So
it was going to hit 12 home runs. That's what Philly media wants you to think. He's going to hit 12 home runs because he got a vaccine.
Well, there you go.
That was the narrative. Was he's a selfish player because he doesn't get the vaccine. But again, we've said it many times. This is a personal choice between you and your physician.
Yeah.
JT has had COVID apparently multiple times.
Yes.
Is a well-conditioned athlete, as you pointed out.
Yeah.
And he said he talked to his doctor and they decided he didn't need it. And frankly, with all the stories going around about the ninja variant and how it's evading the vaccination or even prior infection antibodies, you're going to get it anyway. So, what's the point?
Yeah.
And that's really the thing. I mean, JT's point, and we would be remiss if we didn't just give him a little bit of crap for sticking his foot in his mouth with.
Oh yeah, the money comment.
Yeah, a little bit of money.
Yeah. Bro, give me your little bit of money you didn't make there. You changed my fucking life.
Yeah. But I agree with him. It should not be up to Canada to dictate whether or not he makes a medical decision.
No, it shouldn't. It
How
should
the
be up
MLB?
to the team. It shouldn't be up to your state. It shouldn't really be up to anybody but you.
Yeah, exactly.
And this goes back to the stupidity of it. Okay?
Yeah.
Once again, what's the reason he needs to be vaccinated to get into Canada?
Yeah.
Well, the vaccinated players are just as capable of catching COVID now with this BA.5 variant and transmitting it to others as an unvaccinated player.
Yeah.
So what's the difference whether they're vaccinated or unvaccinated coming into Canada?
Exactly.
I mean, Trudeau's probably bullshit rule is that he's a catcher and he's around 2 people.
Got to watch out for that batter of the umpire. Yeah,
that's literally the only thing I think of. He's the closest to most people.
Look, I get the point there. The umpires are generally not the most conditioned people.
Yeah, you could kill one of those old guys that are standing behind the plate. And
particularly Angel Hernandez, who can't call a ball from a strike to save his life. But that being said, I think a couple things. One, how did MLB not overrule this? To be perfectly honest. I know the reason is Rob Manfred.
I don't think the MLB has the jurisdiction to overrule a foreign country.
Yeah. I mean, that would have
just
been great.
Thinking that out loud.
Yeah, that's true. But I mean,
it's tough. Like, I hope they figure things out in the next CBA, and maybe not have, if Major League Baseball is going to protect their players in ways you might not want to be dealing with a dictator country up there.
Yeah.
Or at least put something in the CBA where it can be,
what's shocking to me too was I think the Blue Jays were playing some of their games in Buffalo. They have like maybe a AAA, and I'm thinking to myself, if you're Toronto, I mean, okay, I get it. Maybe they were thinking like at the beginning of the season, they were probably like, okay, we can allow people to come back in until Trudeau lost his freaking mind. And then it was like, okay,
that's the problem. We didn't see that coming. Exactly. I don't think anybody saw that coming.
No,
because he literally just lost his mind.
He did.
Can somebody tell me, is it you need to be vaccinated to come into the country, or was it specific for like a work or something that you can't?
No, I think it's into the country.
If that's the case, they've got to be one of the only countries left that I know of that still has a vaccine requirement.
I don't. Maybe Australia.
Maybe Australia, maybe New Zealand.
Yeah,
I do know this. Like my parents are they're heading over to Scotland on vacation in a couple of weeks. They had to get boosted in order to go there. But coming back, by relaxing the
you don't have to.
You don't have to get vaccinated coming back. So it's like interesting.
Oh, I recently had family go over to Ireland, and I don't think they required a vaccine to get in there.
So there you go.
Yeah, I think it's just so. I think there's probably 3 or 4, like as we just said, there's probably 3 or 4 out there. It wouldn't shock me if there were. We know it's not Kazakhstan because they don't even like their own government.
Or Sri Lanka or whatever. They're revolting over everything over there. My God. But yeah, it just makes me like too. The idea of the vaccine as being this the be all end all, it's going to save us from severe disease. People are still getting it, and the fear still is. It's
old hat at this point. Like this is 2020 talk in 2022.
Yeah,
that's the best way I can sum it up with it. Like if we're having this conversation June or July 23rd, 2020. Yeah, maybe you can call JT Realmuto selfish. Maybe you can tell Wiggins, hey bro, like, you want to play, like we're cautious about this.
Yep.
2022.
Yeah.
Like between the bullshit media, the fact that there's been like 11 variants, they've jumped from severity to contagiousness.
Yeah.
Like. It's not severe, it's contagious. They're 2 different things. Like everything has changed. Doctors have seen this thing in every which way they can see it. And if JT Realmuto's doctor is like, bro, I won't worry about it, then he shouldn't worry about it. Like, I don't understand the backlash. That's the thing that's confusing.
Yeah, and I think
it sounds very uneducated.
That's the thing, John. I think to your point, I think people are operating under that 2020 mindset, not realizing that it's been 2 years since this virus, was created. Put that out there. It was created.
Yikes.
And put into the.
That's gonna get us banned. All right.
There we go. We're going there.
And put into the world. I'm not going to say by who, but it's put into the world. We know of this virus now. We know what this virus can do. We know the symptoms. I think we can instead of maybe forcing a vaccine, let's think of alternative measures to take. Let's think about our diet. Let's think about exercise. Let's think about taking vitamin D3. Let's think of multivitamins, all kinds of other crap.
Well, Matt, like moving contracts on an NHL team, that's just too hard.
Yeah. Exactly. Just going outside in the sun, that's,
You never know, but yeah, that might also work too. All right, guys, topic number 2. And hey, how about some throwback news here? This is really, really exciting. All 3 of us, of course, were young pups. Yeah, young pups.
We're not grown-ups. We're just large children.
We're just large children living our.
We're kids with money.
I love it. Toys R Us, guys. You remember back in the day. Of course, they were the great toy store back in the day. I remember specifically Black Friday. Parents would take me up there and say, okay, I need a list. Tell me what you need out of this store. Check off, check off, check off. Write this list down, the whole bit. Here you go. These are my ideas. They, of course, declared bankruptcy in 2018. Shut all their stores. I think it was a Chapter 7, if I remember correctly. They are making a comeback, guys, and they are doing it by partnering with Macy's department stores. This is a remarkable story. Just looking ahead, Macy's agreed to sell Toys R Us products on its website just under a year ago, which was around the time when ToysRUs.com also started selling items. And Macy's also opened 400 shops within shops at its U.S. department store. So they basically are embedding a Toys R Us inside certain select Macy's department stores right now. I don't know where specifically. It doesn't say here.
I don't even think they know. I think they just announced their partnership and said it was going to be like their flagship stores. I don't think they specifically put it out there yet.
Exactly. But yeah, I'm going to go to Mr. Steve Murray on this because he started his retail and working career in a store, but not in a
competitor.
Yes. In a competitor. Yeah,
okay,
KB Toy Stores. I remember that years ago. Second floor of the Willow Grove Mall outside Bloomingdale's. I remember that. Steve, what are your thoughts when you first heard of this? What are your thoughts? I think this is pretty exciting news.
I have to admit that seeing when Toys R Us closed back in 2018, whatever it was, when they posted that picture of Jeffrey with like a suitcase, like that was one of the most depressing things I've ever seen.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it was incredibly sad. So to see them coming back like this is fantastic, and I would hope they'd be coming to the Macy's in my mall so that I can take a trip down memory lane.
Hell yeah!
I think my kids are old enough that they will remember the name Toys R Us. They weren't too young when they initially closed, so this could be exciting to them too. I'm looking forward to it.
You could tell your children that their Uncle Matt did go to a Toys R Us to buy a few of their Christmas presents back in the day.
There you go.
So there you go. I mean, I had one that was like, it's right down the road here from me in Kingdom.
It
was at one point. Yep. It was a COVID testing center now. But now it's a vacant lot. Yeah. Can you imagine? Can you imagine?
Yeah. Fall from grace for Toys R Us.
Johnny, this is really exciting, though. I have to mention this to you because you mentioned this in pre-production and just before we came online. It says here in SoFi.com article, within the first quarter earnings report, Macy's said its toy sales already, with the benefit of having Toys R Us in its stores, their sales were 15% higher than the comparable period. So already it's starting to reap the benefits.
Absolutely.
Within retail, within people, like we're going back to normal here and we're going, hey, there's a Toys R Us inside Macy's. Let's talk about that. That's pretty darn, I think that's pretty darn cool, to be perfectly honest with you.
It's genius. It really is. You have two different brands. Macy's doesn't have a good toy department, but now they got a Toys R Us. Yeah. It makes them a competitor. What if mom and dad like to shop at Macy's, but the kids, you know what I mean? Yeah. It's the Walmart Target effect. When you can sell a lot of things, it's a one-stop shop. It makes sense for them to have especially a huge name like that. I mean, everybody knows what a Toys R Us is. Everybody.
Yeah, exactly. It's been a relatively strong 2022 for Macy's, as right from the article, who has outperformed its competitors, such as big box retailers Target and Walmart.
Yeah. They don't have Toys R Us.
Brand recognition makes a difference out there in the world.
You know what they need to do now is buy up Superfresh.
Don't give Target any ideas. That's exactly what Target will do. Don't come out here with those ideas.
Well, ironically enough, the Target near us used to be a Superfresh many moons ago.
Oh, so. Wow. Oh my gosh.
You know, Target has that whole CVS pharmacy thing. So they've done this before too, and it makes sense.
It makes sense, yeah.
It really does, to take something that can't survive in brick and mortar, which we learned Toys R Us couldn't. It just, a toy store is very antiquated in the thought process to to the way we live our lives now. It really is. Like, you
especially
just
as big as they were.
yeah, I mean, they were.
Toys R Us's were ginormous, and it was nothing but toys.
Yeah, exactly. But let's talk about that, like, guys, like, let's fond memories of the store, because I kind of remember going in there. A little throwback, which first Sega Genesis I purchased from a Toys R Us. Went back later, got an NEC TurboGrafx 16 from Toys R Us in Montgomeryville. Got that in there. I mean, that, and the electronics were just like, it was, when those video games started coming out, oh my gosh, did they have a
Toys R Us was the way to go. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Before Best Buy.
Before Best Buy. Yeah, before Best Buy. That's right. But it was just like, it stocked to the shelves, and it was literally like, it was crazy to see the pile of toys all over the place. It didn't matter like where or what. And the sporting goods, you get like all kinds of crap in there. I mean, it was crazy.
I'm fairly certain either I or one of my brothers got a bike from Toys R Us.
They had those in there too.
Yeah, they had everything.
Yeah.
I remember my 16, soon to be 17-year-old. Almost, no, this episode should be out before his birthday. He was huge in the wrestler collecting, like what I have behind me, like the elites and for his birthday all the time. I would take him to Toys R Us, because Toys R Us, especially in the Horsham area, that Toys R Us had the selection. Like, you could see 30, 40 wrestlers different, like, and he used to love that, because it would, oh god, like, they have that one, I haven't seen that one, like, I haven't seen that one before. And that's what we would do for his birthday all the time. So that's my biggest Toys R Us memory, is just being able to take him to a Toys R Us and give him a selection. Because as being a collector, as a kid, like, he needed options.
So let me ask you this, guys. Do you think it's, I mean, obviously it's a boon right now, obviously, having that kind of a store back inside of a Macy's. And right now, Macy's is definitely reaping the benefits. Do you see this lasting for a while?
I think you're going to see a lot of mimicking.
The kind of store within a store. Yeah.
It wouldn't shock me if Walmart, Target, and other, with Target, with the CVS, it wouldn't shock me seeing people molding together to make more money. It just makes sense.
Yeah,
I mean, real estate's expensive.
Yep.
Especially now, and to the extent you could kind of bring in somebody who couldn't survive, as you said, in a brick and mortar on their own. Toys are, you've got some expensive toys, but a lot of toys are inexpensive, and so you're talking about, for the space these Toys R Us's were, you're talking about you need to move a lot of volume.
Yeah.
But if you have a reduced footprint and you're partnering with somebody who's already got space, that becomes less.
And already has a name. That's the key.
Yeah, brand.
Like, people do shop at Macy's.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, it's kind of like what Mr. Beast Burger's doing, where he has like 609 locations or something over the United States, but they're in already commercial kitchens. So he's created a brand, he created a food, and you can buy it from Uber Eats or DoorDash, and it just comes out of a food safe commercial kitchen. It's smart. It's smart business if you really think about it.
One of the best things that my dad, he worked retail for years in Strawberry Collier downtown in Philadelphia, and they had a kind of I guess you could say, a store within a store called the Food Hall in that Market East station, Market East place. And the Food Hall was just nothing but iconic. Was basically, you had like all kinds of coffees, all kinds of candy, all kinds of food, and it was just packed to the brim. And it was literally like the most populous area, because people, what do you want to get for Christmas? Oh, I can get you some coffee, I can get you like some, Asher's, chocolate smothered pretzels, all kinds of crap in there. And it was an amazing selection and things along those lines. So I think, thinking about this, kind of spinning it forward, I think there is it isn't going to fail in this regard, because I think you're both right. You got the name recognition with Macy's, which is still lasting to this day. And then you add in the Toys R Us at a reduced footprint, and you put them everywhere?
Yeah.
I think that's a win-win. Absolutely a win-win. And now, a word from our sponsor.
This week's episode is brought to us by Migraine Killers. If you have migraines that are debilitating and you can't get rid of them, you can't get out of bed, can't do anything, you need our system. First, you take a hammer, and then you take our patented spike. And who the hell is taking in these advertisers? Good God.
Yeah, seriously, Steve. Like, I mean, I don't know who's signing these contracts for these commercials, but we're gonna like get an audit. Something.
You guys are gonna get me injured here. I swear to God.
I know. It's better.
We already have.
Yeah.
Well,
full and complete audit, Johnny. I'm gonna have to do that. We'll have to.
Yeah, just fire that whole wing. We could get a 4-year-old to book this next week.
If you guys are going to be putting my body on the line here, I think I should be involved when you're talking to these sponsors.
Oh, 100%. Yeah, exactly.
You're too smart.
Exactly.
We can't bring you in there.
Oh, jeez.
Oh, man. All right, guys. Well, here we go with topic 3, and it's our science segment. We seem to be having more and more science segments each and every week, which I love.
Science just keeps happening.
I love it. Yeah. NewScientist.com article, discoveries from the James Webb Space Telescope are pouring in, with an analysis of the latest data revealing a galaxy that dates back to just 300 million years after the Big Bang, the oldest galaxy in the history of mankind and the universe. How about that? Just weeks into its mission, the James Webb Space Telescope, or JWST for short, has broken the record for the oldest galaxy ever observed by nearly 100 million years. Seeing some of the first galaxies to form after the Big Bang 13.8 billion years ago is one of the key goals of the Space Telescope. And of course, they found this previous galaxy. The previous oldest one was found by the Hubble Space Telescope. It's called GN-Z11. That dates back to 400 million years after the birth of the universe. So, guys, Steve, your thoughts on this momentous discovery? I'm going to throw up the
I actually
galaxy on screen.
I read a couple of other articles about this that actually pointed out that technically this is not the oldest galaxy. It's actually the youngest.
Really?
Because
wow.
it takes time for all that light to get here. So we're actually seeing it as it looked 300 million years after the Big Bang.
Makes sense.
So you're actually looking at a young galaxy, not an old galaxy.
Because
it may not even be there anymore.
Yes.
14.3 billion years later.
Yeah. Wow. I keep thinking about that. That's
but definitely
right.
cool.
Light. Yeah. Oh, for sure.
Yeah, definitely cool.
Yeah.
This is my only thing, and I'll go political on this. This is what happens when you fund NASA. They tell you things. It's fucking amazing.
It really is.
It's really amazing. So when you're voting for presidents, make sure they like space, because when you fund NASA, they tell you things. It's an amazing concept.
It's just utterly remarkable. I love the images. I mean, you're right, Steve. It's like the speed of light. We take it so much for granted in that regard. But yeah, all that light is traveling throughout the fabric of space, and it's just now reaching us through this telescope that's going. Correct me if I'm wrong. Is the James Webb Space Telescope, is that out there in the universe right now, or is that like on Earth? Are we looking at it?
I wouldn't call it out in the universe. It is in space.
Okay.
So yeah, I mean, technically on Earth we're in the universe. That's just semantics. But it is up in space. It is not. And future telescope designs, when you have the ability to make the bigger you can make them, the more receptive it is to incoming light signals. So future plans have like telescopes that are based on satellites that are going to be, like thousands of miles apart out in space.
Oh my gosh.
To take in the electromagnetic waves in a way that we can see them.
That's crazy.
But the stuff that's coming out of this James Webb Space Telescope has been remarkable. Not just this ancient young galaxy, but some of the other images that we're getting. It's if you could see all the light that comes in on Earth, the night sky would not be dark. It would be bright as hell.
Yes.
And the James Webb Telescope is revealing even more things that are out there that are just too far to see with our naked eyes that we can poke out with, things that paid sponsors give us.
Don't do that. Whatever that copy, get rid of that copy. But on the other side, unfortunately, that same telescope, the James Webb Telescope, suffered uncorrectable damage, according to NASA, in a second article that we have, thehill.com, from out next star. It says here, a Webb telescope suffered uncorrectable damage. A micrometeoroid hit. Micrometeoroid caused significant uncorrectable damage to NASA's. Now get this, John. You say something like this is expensive? $10 billion. That's with a B. $10 billion.
That's such a round number, though. That doesn't sound expensive. That's just a round number. Sounds like what NASA spends.
So if he said $9.789 billion,
that sounds expensive. That's a CNN move.
Maybe it was round up. Who knows?
Expensive.
This while experts say the impact of this micrometeoroid hit was small, it has prompted further investigation. At 21 feet, Webb's gold-plated, flower-shaped mirror is the biggest and most sensitive ever sent into space. It's comprised of 18 segments, one of which was smacked by the bigger-than-anticipated micrometeoroid in May. And these are, of course, fragments. The micrometeoroids are fragments of asteroids that are usually smaller than a grain of sand. That's crazy. If you stop to think about that. This guy, Paul Gethner, who is a technical deputy project manager, how about that job title, at NASA's Goddard Space Flight Center, explained it was known that Webb would have to survive the harsh environment of space, including micrometeoroids. They said that while the mirrors and subshields on the telescopes are expected to slowly degrade from micrometeoroid impacts, the impact to one specific segment, known as C3, exceeded pre-launch expectations of damage for a single micrometeoroid.
Let me put that size in perspective for you.
Go for it, please. Yeah.
You ever been on a beach when there's a stiff land breeze blowing and picks up some of the loose sand on the beach and
hits you in the face,
and you go, "Ow, that hurts."
Yeah.
Now imagine that grain of sand moving at 18,000 miles an hour.
Yeah.
Unimpeded.
That would hurt.
Yeah, that's gonna go through you, and that's kind of what happens. So it's kind of shocking when you think about how small this thing was, but when you consider how fast it was moving, it's going to cause some damage.
Yeah,
no question.
We've talked about radiation in space before being hazardous, but you've also have to account for micrometeoroids now.
Yeah, shit that flies by and knocks things off.
At hypersonic speed. Yeah, exactly. Webb, this telescope, has been hit by at least 6 micrometeoroids since its December launch, equal to roughly 1 impact per month.
Yeah, that's not shocking.
No.
You gotta figure if you're gonna throw it out there, I mean, it's gonna get hit by stuff.
It's interesting.
If I was an astronaut, hey, you want to do a spacewalk? Hell no.
Yeah.
I'm not interested in that because I don't know what's going to be whipping around.
How durable is that spacesuit, right, at that point?
Exactly.
That's my question. The damage to C3, however, has engineers investigating whether the impact was rare, meaning it could happen once every few years, or if Webb is more susceptible to damage to micrometeoroids than pre-launch modeling predicted.
Well, that's science.
Yeah.
That's what should happen. That's
They're
how
trying to figure that out.
Science. Okay. This is what they don't know.
Yep.
They're going to try to figure it out. They might be wrong 3 or 4 times.
Yeah.
Who knows? Maybe don't make it out of gold. Just a thought.
Yeah,
Well,
exactly.
now, I don't think this impact has compromised its ability to get these images. Thankfully,
No,
especially if it said it was hit in May.
Yeah.
So
no, it's just that
hopefully-
they just wanted the headline that it was unrepairable, because no one's gonna go out there and fucking repair it. So maybe we don't get like.
Well, we could send.
Well, we're
Very vague on like their plan.
Well,
we
since we're not sending the shuttle up anymore,
Yeah.
you can't send somebody to go because we're focused on putting people in tin cans to go to Mars.
You mean we can't send like Cuomo up there or Trudeau up there to fix it?
Do you trust them to fix a $10 billion or a $9.895 billion piece?
It's better than having them here.
They'd steal the gold and fly back. That's what they would do.
Yeah, but then you'd have to get back. That's the thing. I'm not so sure they'd be able to find a way to get back. That's my question.
Let's give them the wrong inclination for the burn up.
Okay, why can't we just shoot them out into space and fuck the telescope? Let's just shoot them out into space.
I'm gonna bring up that Simpsons episode yet again when we launched all the unwantables into space on a space shuttle.
I'm all for it. I'm all for it.
All right, guys. Well, here we go with topic 4. And yeah, don't poke your eye out with that thing, Steve. Oh my gosh. Don't listen to that copy, for God's sakes. But here we go with another Best Philadelphia Athlete region of the Two Noobs tournament that we've been doing the last few months. My God, we're almost through. This region
Matt,
was 2 others before we.
The issue was I'm preparing this for John if he picks the wrong player.
I love it.
The bracket.
I love it.
With everybody else.
This is going to be interesting with this part of the bracket. It's the lower half of the Best Philadelphia Philly that's going to be coming out of here. I've deemed this the Citizens Bank Park region.
Nice.
Out of the Best Philly bracket. And again, just to recap, we have the top Elite 8 on screen here. Reggie White and Brian Dawkins, of course, will face off. But then we have Mike Schmidt, Eric Lindros, and the good Dr. J for the Sixers at the bottom. And so this, of course, guys, will be the lower half of the Phillies bracket. And again, just to recap real quick, we had a full listing from ranker.com going 1 to 16 for each team: Phillies, Flyers, Sixers, and Eagles. And we narrowed that list down. Minimum of 3 years played in the city, starting from 1983 onward. We then took a look at their production in the field, whether or not they made multiple All-Star games, won any titles, MVPs, Hall of Famers, and of course popularity within the city and with us 3. And I think that's pretty much.
Just a quick side note with that: every bracket was at least a 3-hour.
Drag
Donnybrook.
knockout. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we beat each other up over all of this.
Yeah, we didn't just pick lightly.
No, the seating was very, very intense.
Yeah, it was it was 3 hours per. So
it was interesting. It was probably
put enough time into this thing.
I would say this was probably on the Philly side was probably the more argumentative one of the 4 that we did. Probably.
Well, I mean,
I think so. I think the Sixer one was the hardest, just because
the hardest one.
It had so many crappy Sixer teams over that span.
Yeah,
it was hard to pick out players. But
the Flyers was argumentative, but it wasn't. It was more where to be seated, not who should be there.
Yeah, exactly.
So each had their own struggle. Like they really did. Like looking back, I can't wait till the whole thing unfolds, because it's been a joy.
I'm still upset that we did not include Jose de Jesus in the bracket. But
it's all on me. It's all on me. I'll take it.
My God, that's a name from the past. Yeah, he must have been like in the 30s.
I remember him. I remember him specifically because his name on the back of the jersey was a D and a little E.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then the rest of it was like big letters.
Yeah.
And back then the TVs were not high definition, so it was hard to see. So I initially, as a child, I must have been 6 or 7. I thought his name was Dr. Jesus.
Nice.
That's a pretty cool nickname. That's awesome. All right, guys. Well, let's go ahead and get started here with the region. John, it is on you, my man. And we are going with the 7 seed Kurt Schilling.
Ooh.
He's
I like
going
me
up
some
against
Schilling.
he's going up against the 10 seed John Kruk.
Ooh.
Kurt Schilling or John Kruk. Ooh.
That's hard.
Yeah.
Man. Everybody knows how much I love John Kruk. Like as a human. Like not even a baseball player.
Yeah.
Like,
He's
I like him
becoming,
more.
one of the best. Yeah.
I like him more as a baseball player than I do as a human, and I like him that much. Like he's a great human being. Schilling not so much, but
Winner, by the way,
pitch.
of this region is going to face Mike Schmidt in the Elite Eight. Should also make that mention too.
I'm going John Kruk
There you go.
because he's far more memorable as a Philly to me than Kurt Schilling, and that's the only reason I'm doing that, because Kruk has been around, and God, could he hit?
Yeah.
And it was every
300?
day.
Yes.
Career
Yeah.
300.
Yeah, he was like
Right on the nose. Yeah.
People called him back in those days, those players called him the poor man's Tony Gwynn.
Yeah.
Like they respected him enough to he could put, when he speaks hitting, he gets it. He gets it.
Heart and soul
He's
of the 93 Phillies,
far and
too.
away the winner.
Heart and
Schilling
soul.
was
Yeah.
Schilling was amazing, but
Left.
I mean,
yeah.
he was way better everywhere else.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I wouldn't say he was way better. He just had more opportunities to, he won a World Series with the Diamondbacks and he won a World Series with the Red Sox, who, by the way, if I'm correct, lost last night to Toronto 28-5.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
That's serious?
He gave up an inside the park grand slam home.
Yep. That's impressive.
Oh my God.
That's
pretty bad.
Yeah.
That doesn't even
But
happen
anyway,
in
yeah.
Little
So
League.
he won a World Series with the Diamondbacks and the Red Sox.
Yeah.
Didn't win one here in '93, but I think you could probably say the best parts of his career, his best performances,
Probably.
were Philadelphia. I mean, I watched him strike out 16 Yankees.
Yeah.
In the first ever interleague series at Veterans Stadium in '96.
There you go.
Well, he
the guy was
doesn't.
a horse.
The team doesn't even get to the World Series in '93 without him.
Oh no,
Without him.
no.
Like Schilling, but also the same thing. If Kruk ain't there,
Yeah.
look how they fell off as soon as he got hurt.
Yeah. Yeah. But for him to go out the way he did, he hits like a single, I think. He was playing for the White Sox. He gets a single.
Yeah.
He's told, you're at 300. Okay, I'm done. Walks away and basically retires. He leaves.
That is the
ballpark,
most
and that's-
John Kruk thing ever, too.
It's beautiful. It's a great.
And the fact
great
that he
ending.
quit ESPN, that also makes a John Kruk thing.
Yeah,
Like,
he's one of ours.
in fact, he was like, I don't want to deal with you idiots anymore. I'm going to just go do local baseball.
Love it.
I pray, thank God, every day he did that because he is awesome.
Yeah, he's
He's
amazing.
great. He is great. So, Steve, here we go, and this is a 6-11 matchup for you here.
Right.
Both from the 2008 World Series
Uh-oh.
Phillies winners. The 11 seed is Cole Hamels. Your 6 seed is one Chase Utley. So it's Chase Utley or Cole
okay.
Hamels.
Thank God I didn't get
11.
this one.
What do you got,
I'm
man?
going to agonize over this for no other reason than to torture John.
I love Cole Hamels, by the way.
I do love Cole Hamels. 08 World Series MVP, pitched
Yeah.
lights out.
Yeah.
Threw a no-hitter in his last appearance as a Philly.
Yep.
Was it a perfect game or was it just no-hitter?
No
No
hitter.
hitter.
No
No
hitter.
hitter.
Yeah. That God Odubel made that catch in the 9th inning. Otherwise, I would have really lost my mind. Oh my gosh. That was unbelievable, that catch.
Chase Utley. I'm going to go with Chase.
Okay.
I'm going to tell you why.
Go for it.
If Hamels is even half of what he was in 08,
Yep.
in 09,
Oh, yeah.
I think we go back to back.
Yeah.
But
Yep.
something was not, and he made the stick, foot, and mouth comment like
Mhm.
JT
Mhm.
during 09. He's like, I can't wait for this to be over or whatever. it
Yeah.
was. So he was not mentally right during that postseason.
Yes.
And I think, you know, if barring some injuries and other things, I think he could have ended up being maybe the best out of the big four.
I thought so.
2010, 2011.
So, yeah. I always thought
He wasn't
so.
right the whole year. I just looked it up. He was 10-11 that year in 2009.
Yeah, he was.
His ERA
yeah,
was
09.
4.32.
Yeah.
Like, and that was the
And
prior year was
on top of that,
3.09.
the run support was not good for him
No.
that year. So it was a learning experience for him.
Yeah. But
Nobody
Utley,
scores runs for you when you give up runs. Bad.
But Utley performed 08. Utley performed 09.
Yep.
If it wasn't for bad knees, I think he would have had an even better career than he did here.
Wasn't
Plus,
10,
when he went to the
wasn't 10 his best
It might have been.
first half? Like he went from 8 to 9 to 10, where he should have been the MVP.
He was right in the running. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Because you had Rollins winning one,
He
and you had
went.
Howard, of course. But you
And
had
then
the
Utley
next
was supposed to
biggest
win
thing
the
was
year
Utley,
after.
and Utley never got there. You're right. You're right. But he
and
was
to put him over the top, he pissed off the Mets so much.
so much.
Yeah.
That was great.
So much.
You gotta love a guy who can piss the Mets off on two different teams, no
Yeah.
less.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. 100%.
I'll give you one more good Chase Utley just to put a good plan on him.
Yep.
That 09, when Hamels was struggling, he was hitting every ball he could to the short porch and breaking a record.
Yeah. Oh,
So
yeah.
he was definitely on that year.
Yeah, crazy. It was hit like 20. It's interesting. I'm just looking up here on Utley hit by pitch. 2007, 25 times. 2008, 27 times.
He never
2009,
moved.
24 times. He never moved.
No, he would
No.
just turn so it would hit him in the back.
Boink,
Yeah. He didn't care.
boink. Drives my friend Mike,
Also,
and he's a Mets fan.
no,
Drives
but-
him nuts every time. Oh, Chase Utley! Just drives him nuts. It's great. Steve,
He had
sticking-
back abs.
Yeah, I love it. Sticking with you, Steve. We got a 3-14 here. The 3 seed is going to be Darren Dalton. The 14 seed is Pat the Bat Burrell. So Darren Dalton, the 3 seed, and Pat the 14.
All right, Pat. I know I give Pat Burrow a lot of crap for the back your butt out for a pitch over the plate, but he was a big important part of the early 2000s teams. He was important on the 08 team. He got a big hit in Game 5.
Oh yeah. Heck yeah.
He was the captain of the parade or whatever. With his bulldog was awesome.
Yeah.
And I think he had a great career as a Philly. Can't say enough good things about Pat Burrell, but he's going up against Darren Dalton.
Dutch.
And
Yeah.
Darren Dalton, with all due respect to Harry Callis and Chase Utley, the man, Darren Dalton was the man.
The man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was the leader of that band of misfits in '93. Could rake as a catcher.
Yeah.
Called a good game.
Was a damn good catcher too. That's the thing.
Absolutely
Damn
outstanding
good catcher.
Fan favorite.
And
yeah.
fan favorite. If Lenny doesn't get him injured in that car accident,
Yeah.
probably even better career as a Philly than he had. But you got to move Darren Dalton. There's no question.
No question. Good choice.
Absolutely.
Johnny, to close out the first round of the Philadelphia Phillies overall bracket here, you got a 2-15. 15 seed is Carlos Ruiz. No slouch either. One of the best catchers.
Love Chooch.
But he's going up against your boy, the 2 seed Jimmy Rollins. So what do you think, brother?
I think Chooch would say Jimmy.
I think you're right. Yeah.
Just for just because we like to reminisce while we're doing this. God, that 08 team, that 09 team, that 10 team, Chooch was.
Yeah.
You know what? That back then though, Chooch wasn't hitting that well.
No,
He came on later as a hitter. His bat average went up as he got older.
I had a funny thing with Chooch because I loved Chooch when he was at the plate. It was fun to watch as a catcher, but man, that dude, when he could get a high fastball,
Yeah.
he couldn't lay off it, first of all, which I loved about him.
Yeah.
But the damage he could do with it was hilarious.
Yeah.
So I always used to, when he was up at bat, I'd be like, throw him a high fastball. He likes them. Like that, I'd say that every time, like, because he could hit it down the line. He'd hit a home run with a high fastball. He was just so fun to watch. But we're talking about literally the shortstop in there
that had the balls to say it's our division. It's our division in 2007.
The guy that took the heat when nobody was hitting went on national TV and was like, just to take the heat off the rest of the guys. Brilliant. The guy, if you've seen the documentary of the World Series, he's the one in Pat Burrell. Like, I don't know who you are, but I need that guy. I need
number 5.
I need the guy.
Yeah.
He was the leader of that team. So he has to he was the absolute leader of that 08 team.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't think I could disagree with you at all on that, Johnny. I think
he's my favorite Philly.
There you go. Yeah.
Like literally just my favorite Philly. Like there's that, I love what they're doing now. I love that Bryce Harper's a Philly, but still to this, Jimmy Rollins is he's 5'8", and and he's as good as Derek Jeter.
Hell of a player, hell of a great defender too. Just one of the all-time bests for sure.
Yeah.
So, John, moving on to the second round, and this is going to be very interesting because it's set up for you. This will be somewhat controversial, but I think I know where you're going.
Yeah.
You got the 6 seed Chase Utley going against the 3 seed Darren Dalton.
Oh, that's
the
6-3.
Yeah.
I thought you knew where we were going, John.
Hold on.
Yeah. Chase or Darren?
Because they're both. That's the same guy. If you look at those teams,
He's a carbon copy. Yeah. Yep.
Not the leader, but they were the heart and soul.
Mm-hmm. Definitely.
Like, I would disagree. I would say Dalton was the leader of the 93 team.
But Darren might just had more to do with the whole thing, because Utley was the dude you like watched, and you wanted his work ethic. Mm-hmm. Dalton was kind of both of that. He was the leader, and he had the work ethic.
Mm-hmm.
He was the only non-fat guy on the 93 team.
Yeah. Well, no, wait, there was one other one. Who was that?
Kevin Stocker.
Wasn't
Kevin Stocker?
Jim Meisenreich?
No. There was a pitcher on that team. He might have been the 5th starter that did the whole.
Oh, Danny Jackson.
Danny Jackson.
Yeah. He was bigger than Dalton. He's the only dude bigger than Dalton.
Yeah. So what are you thinking, Johnny? Chase or Darren? What do you think?
I wish I could put them both in.
Well, you gotta choose one, man.
I really do. Like, Chase was fun to watch. So was Dalton.
Both of them were. I think, it's hard.
Yeah.
Both champions in their own right. Of course, Chase winning the World Series, but
Dalton did win it in Florida.
Yes.
In Florida.
They both do have World Series, but one with the Phillies and one not.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm pretty sure, and also just for everybody to know, I'm pretty sure if Darren Dalton would have won, he would have said world fucking champions too. So that's not on the board.
Yeah. What are you thinking, man?
Man,
you had to make a choice.
I'm going on. I was more into baseball with Chase Utley's teams than I was with Darren Dalton's teams.
Wow.
So that's what it comes down to.
So
I saw more Chase Utley than I did
of Dutch.
I did Darren Dalton.
So you're going Chase. Okay. Wow. Massive upset. Gotta give you props on that, Bill. All right, and for Steve, with the second round, this is also a very interesting matchup. 10 seed John Kruk, 2 seed Jimmy Rollins.
Well, it doesn't give me any small bit of pleasure to advance Jimmy Rollins, if for no other reason than to really put the heat on John. But, I don't think, as good as Kruk was, I think Jimmy had a much longer run of success as a Philly.
Wow.
Kruk, was only around for the minimum 3 or 4 seasons.
Yep. Yeah. It was.
and as successful as he was, and getting to the '93 World Series with that, Jimmy obviously won it. Was here for a long time. I mean, what was his first year? Like 02?
Yeah.
When he came up?
Yeah.
Or
He was an 18-year-old kid when he came up with us.
I mean, I remember when he came up, it was the early 2000s, and then he didn't leave until we traded him.
Many,
13?
many
like that,
later.
After he had surpassed Schmitty's
Schmitty with the most home
record.
hits. Yep.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And won an MVP and a chip.
Yeah. I don't think there's any debate. You move Jimmy past Kruk, but
there you go.
I don't think Kruk would have a problem with that.
No, I don't either. But if we're gonna do it as broadcasters, I pick Kruk over.
Oh yeah, Kruk is.
And
that's the same thing. Like with Darren Dalton, if I could include Darren Dalton's run with 97.5. but I can't. You know what I mean? Because that run before he passed away, when he was doing afternoons, he was one of the most magical human beings ever. I would have loved to just had 35 minutes just to listen to the stories of Darren Dalton's life. What a great man.
Yeah.
By the way, Jimmy is no slouch as a commentator.
No.
He's done some Phillies games, like when he's in town.
And he's done national too.
He's good, but Kruk is another
so
level.
Much better than Jimmy on that level.
Yeah. You can listen to John Kruk talk for the entire broadcast.
Even just listen to John Kruk say, "Oh my God," when Bryce Harper hits that home run. You just need that, and
exactly.
That's all you need.
Well, gents, it's down to this: who faces Mike Schmidt in the best Philly bracket, and it comes to the middle of the infield of the 2008 World Series champions. It's either Chase Utley, the 6th seed, or Jimmy Rollins, the 2 seed. So I already have a vote in, which is very interesting. And I think I made my choice. It's going to be I think on my end, a little controversial, but because I do like one other player, but I'm thinking long term here. So
I want John to explain why he hates Chase Utley.
Well, okay. Gents, we have a unanimous selection. We all agree that Jimmy Rollins will move on to face Mike Schmidt in the Elite Eight. So, this is I'll just take the lead here in regards, because I love Chase Utley, huge fan of him in second base. But I think, Steve, the argument you just made about 5 minutes ago about Rollins' career and the fact that he played here for so long. And I love the fact in 07, as a young kid coming in, when the Mets were dominating the division, when the Mets and the Braves were both dominating the division, he's like, nope, it's ours. And I don't care what Atlanta says, and I don't care what the Mets say, it's our division now. And we go on that run, and he kicks off the golden age of Phillies baseball, and we dominate that division for like 5-6 years. It was ridiculous. That's what really kind of put it over the top. And I think Chase was kind of along for the ride in that regard. He was more cool and laid back. It wasn't saying that Chase wasn't a bad player, but he was not the leader that Rollins was in that 08 team.
Yeah, the player
that's
that
also to John's point. Yeah.
The player that you need. Like, Chase Utley is a great baseball player.
Yeah. Always
has been. Probably his managerial career, which I'm hoping pops off, because I know I think that dude is going to be a great mind. Just him, what he practiced in batting practice, where he explained that he tries to hit the top of the cage because he would rather hit the top of the cage and not see the ball fly, because he knows that if he gets that pitch in a real game, that's a double to the gap. Like, his brain works in a way that doesn't make sense to most people. I think that's why they like him, because he's a heady baseball player.
Yeah.
Always has been, always will be.
Always will be.
He's one of my favorite to watch.
That play in Game 5.
Yeah.
Fake to first and throw home.
That doesn't happen in baseball.
No.
That's how heady he is. He's on the level of Hall of Famers with his mind for the game. But you're talking Jimmy Rollins. Jimmy Rollins is just a flat out Hall of Famer.
You
can't pick something with Jimmy.
Yeah, the talent that we have. Now, I think he
Yeah.
drove us all crazy batting leadoff and
Well,
swinging
maybe
at
the
one, at the
maybe
first
the
pitch every
media,
time.
maybe I don't. He never drove me crazy because he did everything great. He was a great shortstop. He was a great base runner.
Oh,
He was an okay hitter, but what shortstop? You know what I mean? What shortstop bats 300? None.
Not many
in the history.
Not many. But I think they see that talent, Johnny. I think they wanted that average up to like, where I think it was like 260, 270. I have to check that post.
And he got it up. He got it up. You know,
Phillies fans, they went up 280, 290. That's the thing. Yeah.
It's not that he was batting 150.
I'm not sure it was the batting average so much as the on base percentage.
The on base, yeah. But
he didn't take a lot of walks.
No, he didn't.
That's what drove people crazy. Yeah, the walks.
Yeah, but he also what hit 25 home runs in a season from a leadoff hitter, and we're taking that right now. We're not. We literally have the same dilemma.
Yeah.
With Kyle Schwarber, who is batting under 200 and has 30 home runs,
but has 30 homers.
Jimmy helps us understand. Like, all right, well, at least it's 1-0, and that's what Jimmy was saying his entire career. At least it's 1-0.
That's always been my philosophy. Is like, why would you not want somebody at the top of the lineup to
pop,
just hit one out of the park?
Yeah,
and have a lead immediately of 1-0.
The pressure
and the funny story with that was because you just like this team now, you had that because you had Chase Utley coming up next. What if he popped one?
Yeah.
What if Barrow popped one? What if Peace popped one? Yeah. What if Worth popped one? You know what I mean? Now it's 5-0, and all they did was swing at the first pitch.
Crazy. Yeah. So that's it, guys. I mean,
hey, wait a minute! You didn't come to me for a while.
Oh yeah, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Steve. Go ahead. I'm sorry. I'm being so rude over here. Go ahead.
I want this opportunity because I want to thank John for making this one so much easier for me. By advancing Chase Utley over Darren Dalton, I did not have the dilemma I was dreading, which was who do I pick between Dalton and Jimmy?
That would have been tough. Yeah, that would have been tough.
That would have been really hard to do.
Yeah.
And I'm not so sure I'm not picking Dalton over Rollins there.
Understood.
Just the impact on my childhood, but Rollins over Utley, I think for the reasons you guys have said, was a much easier sell for me.
Yeah.
So
Utley is the lowest seed so far to date, the lowest seed that has advanced to the Sweet 16. So there you go. I mean, it really is amazing.
There's a lot of respect for that guy.
Hell yeah.
I think everybody that has watched Phillies baseball in the time frame that we talk about, there's nothing but respect for that guy.
No, not at all. I couldn't agree with you more on that, Johnny. So let's flash up the Elite Eight as we have it on screen right now. And it's, you gotta load this list, guys. You got Brian Dawkins going against Reggie White, Mike Schmidt against Jimmy Rollins, Eric Lindros against To Be Determined Later, and Dr. J against To Be Determined Later. 2 more to go, guys, for this entire listing. It's going to be amazing. And it's been such
quite a discussion when we get to the Elite Eight.
When we get to that Elite Eight, good Lord Almighty, oh my!
It's gonna be a lot of talking because that's where we got to really put our points down and make
sure. Yeah, that's where pros and cons. That's why 100. I think it's going to be a really cool episode because it's like you're going to hear both pros and cons of like, okay, moving on, who's moving on, and then you go Final Four and then championship. It's going to be crazy. So yeah. We'll see.
That's idea. We're just living in it.
Exactly.
Just messing like that.
Exactly. No,
great job.
That was my brainchild. Awesome. It was my brainchild. So I got to live with the
It's been awesome. I really appreciate that you put all that hard work into like the work that me and Steve did is not the same of the idea and how you brought it up, and just really appreciate that you came up with a grand idea that has lasted so many episodes.
Yeah, I was just also saying this too. Thank God you guys brought me back from the brink, because if we had gone just top 16 off of that list, Ben Simmons would have been on there, and it would have been like, what, Matt, you've lost your mind.
Yeah,
and I would have been like,
Ben Simmons sucks.
why would Ben Simmons be on this list? So yeah,
Ben Simmons still.
Thank you for talking me off the brink, Johnny. You know what I'm saying? So
Ben Simmons still sucks.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well,
exactly.
yeah, I just remember when you brought the idea up, and you're like, and here's the top 16, and we're like, no.
No.
No, we needed to argue it out. It's
Yeah.
It brings you into our childhood and our adulthood. Like we're not gonna sit here and fucking produce a list that somebody else wrote. We'll write our own list. We can do it.
Exactly.
Just like why listen to someone else's podcast, we can just fucking produce our own.
Amen.
That's what we do.
There you go. That's right on the money. All right, guys. Well, that ends episode 94 of Two Noobs Talking. Can you believe it?
The honorary ND Kalu episode.
It's just crazy.
Love that guy. I don't know what it is. I love that guy.
Great special teamer, John. There you go.
That guy could play.
There you go.
Well, in honor of Michael Kendricks for next week, I think I'm going to go out and commit some insider trading.
There you go. Don't do that. Don't do that. What are you, Nancy Pelosi's husband?
Yeah, no, don't do that. Don't do that. Oh my gosh, we got to get rid of that copy immediately. But with that being said, Johnny, where can people find us on Two Noobs, man?
You can
social media world. Yeah, go ahead.
Yes, you can catch small little videos on Facebook Reels, TikTok, Clapper, Twitter, Instagram, and all other little places that we hang out and just try to make you laugh or pop you on an episode. So you go to our YouTube channel and
yeah, that's the Two Noobs Talking podcast. Like, share, subscribe, get notified whenever our videos drop. Those usually appear on a very consistent basis Wednesdays, 7 p.m. Eastern time.
Or else the Notebook Man gets it.
There you go. On the audio side, Mr. Steve Murray, where can people listen to us?
People can listen to us wherever the hell they want.
There you go.
damn right. It's your choice, not ours. Trust me.
That's right.
We're on Podbean, which spreads us like a virus all over the place. You can find us on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Amazon Music, Pandora, iHeartRadio.
Love you, son.
Spotify, and I think that covers everything. Just Google us. We're Googleable. TWOTOO, whatever.
We'll pop up.
Yeah, just there's up there that has the spelling, and it's fine.
The thing, yeah.
You
gotta click somewhere up there, somewhere.
It's somewhere up there.
Down there.
Maybe it's down until we get to 100, and then I change it, and then it's all good.
That's it, guys. Episode 94 of Two Noobs is over. We're moving on to 95. Until next week, gents. Talk to you then. Take care.
If you don't read the newspaper, you're uninformed. If you do read it, you're misinformed. That's a great question. What is the long-term effect of too much information? One of the effects is the need to be first, not even to be truly informed.